Hi there, I'm James from Outside in Hathersage, and we've come out today on the most perfect day to review the MICROspikes Ghost. So yeah, look at this, absolutely stunning. It was really cold overnight, minus quite a bit, ice and snow everywhere. And that's the sort of day where these things just sell out and go crazy. Black ice, everyone's slipping and a bit scared, but still wants to get out and enjoy the cold weather. So I better explain what they are. We've been stocking this beauty for years, and this is the MICROspikes. Like I say, every winter when the black ice comes, we completely sell out of them, and they can go on trainers, walking boots, mountaineering boots, and we like to describe it as turn the ice off. So essentially they're micro crampons that don't have to go on mountaineering boots, they can go on everything. Some people leave them on their wellies all year round. And they're really good, they can walk around easily and feel comfortable, but the old pair were quite weighty and it did limit how much you used them. So yeah, what it meant was walkers would use them a lot, but when you're mountaineering, you couldn't really take them as well as your normal crampon. And also runners just found it a bit too chunky and too heavy, particularly if you weren't wearing it and it had to be in your bag. Cthulhu do make another amazing product called the Exospike. That is tiny little studs. It's perfect if you're running on constant ice. Now, apparently in places like Greenland and Iceland where it's really, really icy all the time and you're running on ice, really popular. But in the UK, we've got more like patches, then you're back on snow and ice again. They don't really work very well. So bring in the Ghost. So the Ghost for me just covers all bases. What we've got here is we've still got 12 stainless steel 9mm spikes. So that was on my trainers just now. I've had it on walking shoes and it does just turn the ice off. This morning it was actually quite scary testing. We went up some quite steep, really slippy ice that you could not walk on normal. I just cruised up there, absolutely no problem. But the main obvious advantage over these versus the normal MICROspikes or other things on the market is the weight. So for a medium, it's 193 grams for a pair. That's a 43% weight saving over the old ones and just makes them feel really nimble and pack really small. Now that's great on so many levels because obviously weight in your rucksack's annoying, but having the old ones on your running shoes just felt too chunky. I mean, we're all buying as lighter running shoes as we can to feel nice and nimble, and then putting something on there that makes you feel clumpy and slow just didn't feel right. Also, the chains across the bottom were sort of quite noisy and maybe if you were going fast didn't, again, feel quite right. Whereas the Ghost has replaced those chains with a really solid TPU. So the base of the Ghost is this, like I say, reinforced TPU, which is really, really strong. Now, people are gonna get worried that this might snap and not work. These beauties come with a 4-year warranty, so you don't need to be worried about that. TPU stands for thermoplastic polyurethane, and that's what the matrix is made of. So that doesn't really have much stretch. It's very durable and it's going to stay in place. But the bonus is it's very flexible, and that works particularly well on your running shoes. Now, the harness structure that actually holds it on your footwear is TPR. Now, that's thermoplastic rubber. Obviously, we want some stretch in that because you need to pull it on over your footwear and clamp it in place. Now, I famously have a bad back and very unflexible, and even I managed to get that on my footwear, sat down, no problem at all. And it just makes it really, really accessible. You're out walking, you might not need them on. You see a patch of ice, can I be bothered putting them on? Yeah, why not? They're probably in your back pocket. You can slip them on in literally seconds, walk along, and then if you want to take them off again, put them away again. Now, obviously, they do come sized. I'm a UK 11 or a European 46, and I'm in an XL, and that seems to work fine. Do check your size before ordering, or if you can come in the shop, bring the footwear you want to use them with and try them on. What I found really interesting today is running around in them and walking around in them. Obviously, we've got a bit of a mixed terrain going on. For a moment, I was on rock, and then I was on frozen mud, and then I was on ice. And actually, I could do all of it absolutely fine. So you can leave them on for a bit of a longer walk. And because it's so durable, you don't feel like you're damaging the spikes. And then when you do get to the frozen stuff, you're absolutely solid. My old pair of MICROspikes used to live in my van all the time because if you do get caught out, you've got to push yourself out of a ditch or something like that. It's so reassuring knowing you can get out and you can just walk around on whatever's coming. But I think the Ghost really opens up lots of other things I could use them for. Like I've already mentioned, I never really ran in the old pair. I absolutely would in these. Like just trusting them just now, it was brilliant. There was literally no disadvantages, it felt like. But something I'm really looking forward to is the winter climbers will understand what I'm talking about here. But you go climbing in the Cairngorms, you walk into the Northern Corries and you get there and it's fine. You have your day climbing in your big crampons that are perfect for climbing. But walking in those is horrible and it's really, really icy on the footpath on the way out and you feel you should leave them on, but as we all know, big, sharp, really tall crampons for walking in is horrible. You feel like you're going to roll your ankle and you take them off too early. And then inevitably you fall over and wish you'd left them on. So I think now these are so much lighter, I'll actually take these with me, leave them in my bag and slip them on for the descent and the walk back to the car. And I'll be so much more confident walking on that. And it'll probably save me a lot of time, so you don't have to be pottering around. Another little new feature I really like is the fact that the front of this is now red, and that's where you put your toe in. The old pair we had, which were either red or black, they were red or black all around. So sometimes you didn't know which was front and back, and in slightly wild weather, sometimes it's quite hard to figure out which way around you're meant to be putting them on. No problem anymore. So just a quick word of warning, this is not a climbing crampon. I'm sure you all know that, but just covering all bases, it's not a completely solid thing. It's just to put on any piece of footwear to help you walk around when it gets icy and slippy. There's no point sticking out the front, you can't kick into a snow slope, things like that. It just really helps when it's snowy and icy out there. So while I prefer the Ghost, I don't think it makes the old MICROspike completely redundant. While it's heavier, it still has got the chain at the bottom, which some people are going to like. And also, even though it's a bit heavier, it does come in a little bit cheaper as well. So if you're not too worried about weight, maybe consider these. Come and try them on in the shop. So inevitably, when we get a black ice day, they're going to sell out. So get there quick. If you're coming to find them in the shop, they'll be in the boot room. They won't be in the rock room because they're not climbing equipment. And if you're on the website, just search in Catula or Ghost, or just go to the walking section. I'm quite weirdly excited about using these this winter. So let's hope we get more days like this with snow and ice. Come and try them on and be safe this winter.